rise one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
You're so amazing. Yeah. You're so amazing. Yeah. You're so amazing. You're so amazing.
I'm a son by you, so astonishing. Future looks bright, so promising. You're a great wonder, no wondering.
Lord, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Yeah.
I'm amazed by you, I'm in awe. Your ways are perfect, there are no flaws. Hard to come in here and know it sounds out, but
Lord, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Yeah.
Referring to the Virgin Mary, it's not a fairy tale. Never had a plan, but it did fail. Pour it out blood, I escaped hell.
Lord, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Yeah.
Set me free, you gave me eternal life. You gave up your life, you sacrificed. Made old things new, made the wrong right.
Lord, you're amazing. You're so amazing.
I need depending on you whenever life gets hard. And a bastard, you have a scar on the God. A real chef on my staff, my rock, like them other guys, no fake, no far. Bigger than bigger, so humongous, a real Godzilla. But you ain't no monster, powerful. Also fitted them before time, you already existed. You gave your life for me.
You're so amazing.
You set the cap, the free.
You're so amazing.
You died for a wretch like me.
You're so amazing.
On a day, on Calvary.
You're so amazing.
My God is amazing. Look at the grace that I lay up in. Look at the name we entangle with. Look at the flame is lit. You cannot shame a kid. On mission, you know it's every day. And we count the cost, that's a major bank. Our sins on the cross, that's a heavy weight. Yeah, you made a way, now we tailor made. And he done met the man all I ever need. Spirit running through me like I'm on an IV. Now they see me shine bright like some high beams. And we dripping with the vision, cut the visine. And we blazing trails like it's day time. And we bring the heat like it's wave time. And he take the lead like it's game fine. And y'all be my set, so I bang mine. Praying that these young hitters really get it. Hope they know they got amazing, this is not a gimmick. Hope they know they like official, man, it's not a scrimmage. Hope they know that he is risen, you can come and get it. They say that they bout they green like they Kyrie. I say that I'm about my king like I'm Bloody. They say that they bout they green like they Kyrie. But I say that I'm about my king like I'm Bloody. Yeah.
You gave your life for me.
You're so amazing.
You set the cap, the free.
You're so amazing.
You died for a wretch like me.
You're so amazing.
On a day, on Calvary.
You're so amazing. I remember when he saved me. I remember when he raised me. And I give him all the praise. Lord, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Yeah. I remember on the day that Jesus healed my baby. He's a healer, he's amazing. Lord, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Yeah. I can't gamble with a maybe. Gotta praise him on the daily. He'll never leave me, never forsake me. Lord, you're amazing. You're so amazing. Yeah. I think the world got it mixed up. Selling your soul for the big bucks. Gotta go to God, get it fixed up. Gotta go to God, get it fixed up. Your same low, get it picked up. New living water for your hiccups. Drinking new wine in the big cup. And I get it finished in the big truck. Take it to the hood, they know what's up. Think about it, get it, then I cut up. Cause without Jesus, I nuts up. Put all your events and butts up.
You gave your life for me.
You're so amazing.
You set the cap, the free.
You're so amazing.
You died for a wretch like me.
You're so amazing.
On a day, on Calvary.
You're so amazing.
The 4G track. Feature my man, T-Way. K-Show. My main man, Jay Will. Shout out to the A. PC.
You're so amazing.
God is amazing. Good evening, everyone. We're back. It's been a long hiatus, so welcome everybody back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another beautiful Friday evening with Elation Radio. I'm Minister Sedric. We are bringing back our show, Relentless Pursuit, because we are relentlessly pursuing the things of God. Today is Friday, October 16th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So I have had the last 2 weeks have been not fun, but they have been a blast. I've been learning a lot. And, man, the news cycle has been busy, but God has been busy in my life. And I'm telling you, it's just been a time of growth. And it's funny when I talk about growth because, see, I don't there's some things in my life that have changed for the better and some for the worse, but I count them all joy because I know that they're all a blessing from God. And so as I was thinking this week, I was thinking about I read in Genesis, I was reading in Genesis, it was 35:3, and I just want to open up with that just a little bit. I just want to read the one passage, and it basically all it says here, and I say all it says, but what it says a lot. But it says, "And let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went." Man, you know, with all the things that are going on in the media today, and a lot of these things are not made up, some of them are, and we all have different feelings about what's going on within our country today. And sometimes I just feel beat up. I feel tired. And so I started thinking about the fact that, you know, sometimes we don't understand what an event brings to us. You know, the wisdom that we will gain from a specific event or a series of events that happens in our life. Sometimes we don't see that right away. We generally won't see the goodness of it until hindsight, until it's already passed by, until we've already gone through these things. And so I started thinking about Jacob, and I thought, wow, you know, Jacob, he had this experience, right? He had a vision of God at Bethel, and then check this out, because he had heard God's promise, and God had promised to watch over him wherever he would go, right? And then if you go through the story of Jacob, you find that later on, when he was returning to his homeland, right, he encountered God again, right? And this time, in this encounter, he received a new identity from God. God said, you will be called Israel, one who wrestles with God, receives blessings, right? And so I started thinking about this. Now, then I started kind of putting 1 + 1 is 2. I put these experiences together. And then I also found that Jacob is leading his family back to Bethel after a while, and he was going back to worship, and he was going back for renewal before God. Now, you think about the previous experiences that Jacob had with God. They were just singular experiences. In other words, it was just Jacob and God. But this time, I started thinking, now he's sharing his testimony about God with his entire household, right? And he's calling them to wrestle with the repentance of his faith, right? And so he says he's basically calling on them to repent, and then he's also calling them to faith. And I was just like, wow. So I started thinking about this, and I started putting all my thoughts together, and I thought to myself, whew, maybe I've just had a long, roundabout journey, you know, thinking of all the stuff that's going on out here, just thinking this is a long journey. And I started thinking, well, God, what's really going on here? What's really going on? I thought, well, maybe what I was sensing was that God was here with me and I wasn't alone. Because, see, in hindsight, I can see how faithful God has always been with me. But when I'm going through these times, I don't really get to see, because I'm experiencing these problems, and I start to feel alone. But God showed me. He said to me, he said, in spite of all your sins, Sedric, in spite of all your scheming ways, I'm already here. I always show myself true. And then he says to me, you are not alone. And wow, the word speaks about it, and basically the word says that anyone who comes humbly before him, receiving their new identity, will be given grace through Christ. So, what does all this mean? For me, what all this meant, it was just simple. It meant that I had an experience with God, and I've met this experience, but I've experienced his faithfulness to me. And I ought to be ready to share my story with people. I ought to be ready to shower people with the grace that God has shown me. And so I basically, today, that's kind of my confusing thought. And just so y'all know, sometimes I'm like today, I'm off the top of my head, so some of my thoughts are not in perfect order, but I will tell you, as I was reading that today, that's what I thought about. I said, God, I got it. I understand it now. I'm going through a tough time. The wisdom won't come until after the experience. And after the experience, the wisdom is there. Part of that wisdom is knowing that you are always there with me and I am never alone. And so my prayer was simple today, and it was just something like this, just Lord, give me a sense of wonder, and so that I can comprehend your faithfulness to me, your faithfulness to us as your people. And Lord, just renew us daily. Amen. So that's kind of what my thought has been today. Hopefully I didn't confuse anybody, but just know that God loves you and I love you. And I've been thinking about that all day with everything that's going on. So, with that being said, Jason, Terry, are you guys on with me right now?
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Oh,
how are you doing?
I'm mellowing out. As you can see, mellowing out. Jason, how are you today?
Okay.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we're all doing good. Man, today has been one of those days. You know, it's the end of a day, and it's bringing a work week to a close. But it has been one of those days. I mean, like, wow, one of those weeks, one of those years. You know, and today I kind of wanted to talk a little something about. I was kind of feeling beat up because I know how we do as Christian folk. We give and give and give until there's nothing else left to give, and we forget that we need to be imparted into, right? You know, if you never put any gas in your car and all you do is drive it, it's going to run out of gas. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah. That car will run out of gas. I tell you, because I've been kind of thinking about this topic today, and it's more or less self-care. And Jason, you still on mute. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can't get you off of mute real quick. But I've been thinking of this topic of self-care. But before I even jump into self-care, what do I need self-care from? Can you think of anything you got going on there as we wait for Jason to get in here, Brother Terry, that you need some help from? That you need just situations that may have come up.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Self-care from work, the stresses of everyday life, church, you know, let's see, family.
Like what about church? What about church got you all up and on? What about church got you pent up?
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, it's not so much as a pent up. It's just that people, you know, when you have people drawing on you, pulling on you, you got to go counsel here. You do counseling. People have issues. They have various things going on. They want to talk to you and share with you, and you know, it just pulls on you. It drags, you know, just pulls.
Well, you can't do them like me and tell them I can't do
it. You know, sometimes, you know, some people, it would be great to be able to do that, but some things are urgent for some, And so, you know, if I'm standing there and it's urgent for them and it's something that is really causing them a lot of stress or whatnot at that moment, you know, it's one of those type of things where, you know, I feel I take it upon myself Like I said, that's the operative word right there. I take it upon myself to say, you know something, I'm here. The reason why I'm here, I want to make myself available, and that's what I do. May not be the right thing, but that's what I do. And as a result of that, sometimes those conversations wind up being longer, a little bit more intense than I thought, and it pulls on you. It pulls on you emotionally, pulls on you mentally. And then you got to pray after it's over, and it just kind of just pulls on you. And like you said, so if you don't have anything to fill you back up, if you're not getting filled back up, you're like an empty vessel.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because like some of the things I've been going through, work related, and work for me is not like everybody else. Like I can't really sit at a desk for long periods of time. Can't really stand up for long periods of time. I can't really walk for long periods of time. And when I find myself doing it, like it just takes all of my energy, and I'm back and forth to the doctors. I got this appointment, that appointment. I got so many appointments I can't keep up with them. So every day I'm getting emails, text messages, phone calls. I don't know what to throw away and what to keep, right? And so part of the thing I was looking at, and I started thinking about self-care. I started saying, man, what do you do? What do you do to take care of yourself? So one of the simplest things that I've been doing in the morning that I call self-care, one of the simplest things I've been doing. Here it is.
What?
Now, America, y'all hear this. One of the simplest things that I have been doing is I have been getting my breakfast, and I have to go to the office for a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning. I leave a little early, and there's a little park. I stop there. The weather is pretty cool here in Kentucky in the mornings now. I go to the park, park my car, and I eat my breakfast on my way to the office. So some people might say, well, how is that self-care? Let's define self-care. Let's define what self-care is. Terry, you know what self-care is to you? Well, what is self-care to you? I'm gonna tell people.
Self-care to me is really where you take yourself and do you first, and really whether it be mentally, physically, emotionally, really giving yourself that time to breathe and just really focus and really get just have that balance type of thing.
I would agree with that. I would agree when we talk about self-care. It's every aspect of self,
right,
and making sure that entity is as whole as they can be given the circumstance and situation. Like you said, when you go throughout life, things get drained and taken from you. Your energy, your patience. These things start subtracting from you. So you've got to make sure, and they leave little gaps and spaces. So you now got to make sure you come back to being whole again. And I think self-care is that process in which you add those things back, whether it be taking a walk, having a good meal, sleeping an extra 2 or 3 hours, whatever it takes to kind of get that back.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And I agree with both. And my definition is no different. There is no difference. It's just taking the steps to preserve or improve your own well-being, right? And so for me, one of the things I do, and I know some people I think, that is so crazy. Like I do something so simple as to make sure I got something to eat and go sit in a park. And I will tell y'all, I don't sit there more than about 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm just sitting there. And I'm going to tell you guys, man, for me, this is so enlightening. It takes me back to when I was a kid, way back in Dallas, Texas. I noticed the changing of the colors of the leaves on the trees finally. I noticed people walking their dogs now. I noticed when people bring their kids to the park. It's like I've taken the time out to smell the roses, and I don't do that very well. So, there's an awakening inside of me in those few moments that just says, wow. Because I'm telling you, with everything that we got going on in this world, I mean, if I hear Donald Trump name one more time, if I hear Joe Biden name one more time, or Kamala Harris, or or you know, anybody, or if I hear about another murder, if I hear about another cop, I sometimes feel like, I'm going to snap. And I'm going to tell you how crazy it is for me. Y'all know I like weapons. Man, I'm like always at the ready. People say, but you're a man of God. Yeah, but I'm a man of God that's always at the ready. I don't see what the problem is, right? And so I woke up, I'm all about self-care, though. I will tell y'all, I really am all about self-care. I'm about spoiling myself, but you got to find new ways to spoil yourself. And so I just felt like one day, if I just do this one more time, it's going to be some problems. And so for me to commit that one act, and I don't have just one act of self-care. I can tell you I have several, but one of them is that morning breakfast. I listen to the radio. Usually, I do find talk radios kind of relaxing, so I do listen to talk radio. Sometimes I'll do classical music, but it's important for me. It's important for me. I mean, when I went to and I'll tell you guys, I've been doing it for a short time, probably a month now. And when I went to the doctor this past week, pressure's down, my vitals are better. There's some other issues that we got to look into, but it has nothing to do with what I can fix. But it's just amazing to me, and I'm seeing things in a different light. What about you guys? What are some of the things that you actually do for your self-care, or that you feel that you need to do?
Well, I know for me, I haven't been consistent with my self-care, but my thing is that I know, but some of the things that I've noticed I've been doing is like I may eat lunch at my desk, but then I may leave for like about 45 minutes or so, and there is a park that's nearby that I like going to, and just kind of sit there and just watch the river go by. I really like doing that, but I haven't been consistent with it, making that a priority for me. There's other things I like listening to, like really good, just kind of just mellow music like you do. But again, just not consistent with it. And I guess that's the part that I've got to do for myself is be more consistent with my self-care. Because if I'm not going to be any good to anybody. But
so you keep saying that you're not consistent. What's good about it, though? What do you do for yourself that you actually truly feel good about? Because here's one of the things I want people to understand is that if you don't truly feel good about it, you're not going to be consistent at it.
Right. Well, no, I feel really good about. I feel really good when I go at lunchtime and the weather is beautiful, and I can just watch the river go by. And I do that. I do that for the most part, like on Saturdays. Sometimes I just make some time, or if I go in the mornings, I just like that peace of the water. I love water, and it's peaceful, and it does wonders for me because it allows my mind to just let go. I don't have to think about anybody else's issues. I don't have to think about work. I don't have to think about church. I don't have to think about nothing. It's just me and the water and the wind, and I just love that feeling that it gives me.
Okay. So Jason, you got anything you want to share with us? Why, the who's, the what, the how?
So for me, I'm a walker, and I just like to get out and start walking. I'll throw my headset on, listen to some music, and just start walking. And I think similar to you, Terry, just kind of being out there in nature, kind of feeling the wind against your skin. Now I normally walk in a city, like either to a grocery store or something like that, and I don't know. For me, it's just kind of going somewhere. Well, but here's the deal: like I can go by car or I go by walk, and the walk really allows me just time with my own thoughts to kind of sit and think through things and process my thoughts and just really get myself back to center, and like for me, center is like focusing on, like, God, where are you in this? So my self-care really revolves around me getting back to my source of all my strength and abilities and kind of, shedding out the world and becoming focused. Because, like, I'll tell you, when I'm at work, there's times that I'll eat my lunch and I'll be sitting I get into work like, 6, 7 in the morning, and by 2 o'clock I hadn't moved. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to get out and walk around the building. And in that same time, just when I'm just out walking and moving, it kind of allows my mind to move, So for me, self-care is I'm not one to sit and listen because I'll fall asleep. So I try to keep myself moving.
You'll fall asleep kind of like I am now. See, the reason I love what you guys are talking about, because when I think of self-care, personally, sometimes, and I know this is hearkening to the ministry. We're all in ministry. We work. But do you ever think that sometimes self-care is just saying no to a whole bunch of extra obligations? Like, you know what, this counseling session is going longer than I expected. Do you ever think that self-care is cutting that counseling session down and saying no and not feeling guilty about it? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah. I mean, that's totally it. I mean, that's the reason why, like I said, I've kind of started, saying, hey, look, this counseling session is only going to last for 45 minutes. So if we start at 7, we done at 7:45, because I don't want to be on having no extended conversation beyond that, because one, you're going to lose me, and then two, it really, if it's not that important, it can wait till the next time we get together, And so I'm learning to do some of those things. It's something that I haven't perfected, but it's something that I'm learning to do and trying to get better at it.
Right, but I think it's in the name. We talk about self-care, and sometimes, you mentioned it, sometimes to care for ourselves, that means that we have to not think about others, right? Because ultimately, like you said, Terry, if I'm no good for myself, then I can't be good for anybody else. And the struggle is sometimes we want to feel selfish, like, oh, I should be there for this person, there for that person. When in reality, if I can't be there for myself, and I go something, I get worn down and I get tired and I get fatigued, then I just not only affected myself, but those people that I'm trying to put myself out there for, I've affected them too.
Yeah. See, and what's funny about that is that I got a question. Y'all can answer the way y'all want, but like a lot of times, people make fun of me because truly I am into self-care and self-maintenance, right? And so people will laugh at me, but why do you guys feel like self-care is so easily looked over or devalued? Why do you think so many of us in our world today, with everything that we have going on, why do you think it's so easy, or why would you say it's so easily overlooked or devalued?
Well, for me, it's like, okay, I can handle this. You keep pushing yourself, not realizing and not thinking that, hey, you're not God. You're not Christ. You don't have all power. And what happens is for me, I just go and I push and I push and I push until my body or till my mind or something just gives, and that's not healthy. And I think part of that comes, I'm not going to use the words that that somebody else I know would use, but sometimes we have a tendency to put a cape on and want to be a captain, save a person, and we just realize, something, that's not our role, that's not our job. We're supposed, and sometimes I have a tendency, I can speak for myself, I have a tendency to put that cape on every now and again and push myself to the point where I don't think about myself, and so, yeah.
Okay. See, because here's the thing, and I like to always put this out there, because on an emotional thing, like I'm one of those guys, my ambition is high, right? I have a really high drive, and I can go out and go. But what people don't get a chance to see with me, when I go, when I come home by myself. Nobody gets to see me unwind. Nobody gets to see me flop on the couch and throw my legs up and just don't move. Just be like, you know what, I'm going to lay here for 3 hours. Nobody gets to see that. So when people see me, I'm just the Energizer Bunny, right? And it's so funny that they never really truly get to experience who I am. That's one of the things. Self-care actually helps to build this image of yourself that on one hand is true, but on the other hand is not. And so in order for people to get to know how I take care of myself, they have to get to know me, right? I have to invite them into my life. And here's why that's important to me. It's important to me because I'm the guy, I don't really, and it's one of my downfalls, but I don't really show a lot of, I'm not overly empathetic or compassionate for people. Sometimes people tell me I'm not kind enough. And one of the reasons that I have purposely taken the steps to put self-care out front is so that I can soften my edges, right? Like I don't want to come off as selfish. I don't want to come off as a slave driver, but I also don't want to come off as struggling. And self-care has helped me with that. You know, really taking an active role in my self-care has helped me with that. It's helped me display kindness and compassion to people in a way that they understand and they receive it. And that's some of the benefits of taking care of yourself that we don't really think about. We just think about if somebody takes the time out, like I take Saturdays. I take Saturdays to just chill out on Saturdays. I try not to do any work. And if people just see me Monday through Friday, I'm okay. Start to try to interrupt my Saturday, they get mad at me because I don't answer their calls right away. I might call them back. I'm only talking for a few minutes. But I have to take care of myself because if I don't do it, then I'm in big trouble. And I think that for us, and what can make self-care easier for us is if we look at it in that way and not see it as if we're being selfish. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I think you hit on
it.
I think the biggest struggle is, you know, when we think about, especially as Christians, what we're supposed to do. You know, Christ lived selflessly, you know, giving up his life and lived always to help and further other people. And, you know, we strive to kind of mimic that. And I think sometimes, like to your point, Terry, too much, you know, and you know, we are human and we have, you know, we are flesh and we do need our own rest and our own care for. And I think that's the biggest thing that most people struggle with is like, you know, if I care for myself, then, you know, I'm being selfish and I'm not caring for other people when, you know, God made us human. And you know, the sleep patterns, and then when people study like rest and how it is one of the most important things to is just healthy living. You know, you get somebody who hadn't slept in 3 or 4 days, and they're sometimes so off they can be near death. So it is something that's important, and we can't overlook it. You know, and just because we're trying not to be selfish.
Yeah, and you know what else is? I'm sorry, Terry, were you about to say something?
No, not at all.
Okay. So something that's funny is I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, Jason, what you said, because you brought up something. You brought up other people again. And even if we're striving to take good care of ourselves, what's the one thing that most of us need? And I think we say it reluctantly and we don't really put emphasis on it. But what's the one thing that most of us truly desires? And it just seems like we just can't get it when we want it. And for me, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times we're going through situations, we need a support system. We need somebody to be there. We would want somebody to be there. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So even in self-care, we still need a support system. But here's the problem I think we have with the support system is we don't know how to use it. Like, Terry, what kind of support system do you have? You're stressed, you're going through, you're trying to take good care of yourself. Nothing you seem to be doing is working. You turn to somebody. What usually happens? Or what do you expect to happen?
Well, I expect to happen. Hopefully they would listen and be there for me. That's what I would hope would happen. But sometimes that's the case, and then sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes, you know, they're dealing with their own set of stuff, and so I wind up listening to them sometimes. Like I said, it just varies. But the hope is that they would show me that grace and give me that time and just be able to, be there for me.
That's fine. So I guess I'm gonna try to ask a question. So what are some of the ways that we could use a healthy support system? Let's say it like that. Some of the ways that a good support system would be beneficial to us. Let's talk a little bit about that before because I think this part right here is really important because I use myself as an example, but most of the time it's just me by myself, and unless you're in my inner circle, you don't know that there are times when I need people too. I'm not that superhuman that I make myself out to be. No, y'all don't hold that against me. We're gonna delete this tape too. So, but what are some of the ways that we can use our support system? Okay. Well, I tell you one of the ways I use my support systems. Like some days, I just talked to Jason earlier this week, or maybe even last week too. So one of the ways I use my support system is this. I'll call up one of you guys and I'll be like, man, what's going on? How you doing? And we'll just start talking about something. Last night, I shared with Jason some good news that I got for another friend of ours that I felt was really good news. And it felt good because I was happy for that person, because I think we need to bounce things off others because sometimes I know that I've had a problem with this, I've seen people with this problem. You'll internalize a problem to the point where it makes you sick, or you don't feel like you can talk to anybody, and it does something wrong to you. There are other things that I've done for friends who I've seen that they were visibly under some sort of duress. Offer to take them to lunch or suggest to them that they take some time off and kick their feet up, things of that nature. I think putting some boundaries on our lives and setting up a good support system for ourselves, it benefits us and those people around us. Because we can't do it all ourselves. We can't do it all ourselves.
Correct.
Now, do you guys see any limitations to living a life like that? Because again, we're talking about self-care. We're talking about getting ourselves ready.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any limitations. I don't see limitations. And only limitations is ourselves that we place on ourselves. That's the only thing I see as a limitation for me. That's. I set my own limitations. I limit my own self. So I don't see anything else beyond that, Brother Sedric.
So what about this? Because I'm talking about every day. We're talking day to day. What are some of the things that we could eliminate from our lives or cut back in our lives so that we could take better care of ourselves on a daily basis? Just some of the little things. I know my first one. I know this is my pet peeve here. If you want me to start it out, I'll start it out. But I just want people, if anybody listens to this podcast, I want them to see some of the things. The number one thing right now that we can limit in our lives to help take better care of ourselves, the number one thing right now is social media. Man, leave Facebook alone.
Mm-hmm.
Leave TikTok alone. Get on up out of Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put the cell phone down. Stop sending all text messages. Get out from in front of that computer.
Right.
Turn the news off. Just turn the TV off. Turn it on. Like Teddy Pendergrass. And I know I'm joking, but I'm being so serious because a lot of times we stress ourselves to no end, worrying about things that are never going to come to be. Y'all know that?
True.
That is ridiculous. What are some of the other things? What are some of the other things we can rid ourselves of? I just went over the media aspect.
Toxic people.
Oh,
toxic.
Let's get the hood rat out your life.
Right. Right. Get what you're doing. I'm saying. Get the toxic people out of your life.
Yes.
That's one way.
Yes. Oh man, I'm telling you, Jason. What's the one way you found to bring some good times in your life here lately? Oh, he don't want to share with us.
No. For me, it's to go out and have a fun. You know? Can you hear me?
What you know? Go out and have fun. What you know about having fun? Tell us about your fun, Jason.
Not much, but you know, for me, it's going to visit with people. You know, I'm
go to visit people.
Yeah, you know, it's difficult with the coronavirus and the COVID-19, so I don't get as much visitation. But you know, spending time with people that you love, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yes.
My family's pretty close, and you know, typically in August we do a family reunion, and it's pretty big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, of course, with the certain situations, we hadn't been able to do it, so we started doing like virtual family reunions, and once a month, we all get on the Zoom phone call, and I'll tell you, that is some of the best time I ever had. I walk away from that phone call just smiling big because we're together, and I start. You know, it's funny. You know, here I am in my early 40s, and I'm realizing just how important little things like that is. Just just spending time with people that you love and that love you, and just cutting up and not having a purpose, not having a real reason or agenda, but just getting together.
Right.
You know, and just sharing life and doing life.
That's what I'm talking. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sharing life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had this week, I talked to all of my junior flips. And for those of y'all who don't know, my junior flips is my children. Okay, I talked to all three of my junior flips, right? I got one of them over here. I don't know what he doing. He just kicking it. He living life like a firecracker. Then I got one over here. She trying to be so responsible. Then I got another one over here. She trying to be Miss USA. I'm like, man, I don't know what I got going, but I'm like you, Jason. It does my heart well. And I ain't even gonna talk about my adopted kids, my takeover for somebody else's kids, my goddaughter. I don't even talk about that yet. And like right now, for a man who only got 3 kids, I'm telling you, I got 1, 2, 3, 9. Just 9, and it's hard to keep up. But it does my heart well. I'm gonna be honest. Like I never laughed so much. I never joked so much. Like, wow, you know, it's just funny to me. And I've never and you two guys know me. I've never done this before. Never. It's like my first time, and I'm telling you, I'm enjoying it. And so this whole self-care thing, it kind of really meant something to me. That's why I wanted to talk about it tonight, because it means something. We need to stop. Like I hear people talking about, well, like you were just mentioning, Jason, COVID-19, we can't go visit. Man, Zoom works fine. Just be honest. When we could be face-to-face all the time, we didn't want people up in our face breathing. You didn't brush your teeth this morning. Bro, back up. You got this ESBO coming up at me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And now we got COVID-19 up here, and now we want to act like we can't stay apart. Man, get on the phone. Get your FaceTime working. Google Duo. Wave at your neighbor from across the street. I tell y'all what, I am not a friendly neighbor. I'm not. I'm a horrible neighbor. But I ain't never waved at my neighbors so much since COVID-19 hit. I am not kidding. Every time I go out the door, if somebody's picking up trash in the yard, sitting at the trash can, they wave, and they like standing there. And you look at their face, and they just really want you to speak. They're like, please speak, please speak, please, please, please speak. I just wave with a real cool, nonchalant look, like, hey, as I drive by, you know, and it makes me feel good inside. So I want people to join in on this whole self-care movement. And as we've been talking, I want to ask each one of you, I know, Terry, you say you try, but you can't keep it on track. But just think of what, give me 1 or 2 things you could do that you don't do now, Terry, that you might want to try next week. You might want to implement into your regimen. And then you do the same for me, Jason. We just want to leave the people with something.
Thing I could is really allow myself, because when I do get with people that I love and care about, I don't really let myself go and let myself really relax.
Oh, you
I
fake.
think
I'm sorry, just out loud.
No, not I think. I know Shush. Okay. See, I know I don't. I know I don't. And so, for me, it's going to take. I think it's going to be one of those moments where I just need to really just work on when the people I love, they love me regardless. So I should be able to be silly, laugh, serious, whatever, all the whole gamut of emotions, I shouldn't be stuck up or stressed out, when I'm around people that I love. I'm gonna try to do my best and really just to kind of enjoy the present. And that's one thing I've learned. I learned that I need to do is enjoy the present moment. And
get you some relaxation too.
Be in the. Okay. This is a setup. Okay, but I got it. Yeah. Okay.
What? I was just saying some relaxation too.
No, it's okay. I got it.
Hey, what about you, Jake?
I'm good.
What about you? You got.
For me, I think, just kind of piggybacking off what Terry just said, living in the now and, probably getting some more exercise. Like I do go out there and walk, but maybe just go for a little jog or something, get the blood moving and flowing. I think those are some things I can probably add to my self-care.
Telling y'all now, adding to mine. I need to be friendlier to people. So I think I need to just say hi more often. I'm glad I can do it from a distance and it won't be seen as rude now. I think that's one of the things that I personally can do. Lay off the coffee because I get excited sometimes. I need to learn to look people directly in the eyes and smile with my eyes because people see me with a mask on and my eyes are not smiling and they can tell. So I'm going to actually start trying to implement some of that. I'm going to start trying to do some of that and then I'm going to start sharing kinder words with people. Instead of calling people out, laughing and stuff, I'm going to be kinder. I'm going to start just being kind. Like when I see Terry, like I call Terry Dub. Terry, can you tell the world why I call you Dub, or do you mind me telling people why I call you Dub?
You can go ahead. You got it.
All right. I call Terry Dub. I call him Dub because he double my size. It's two of me. Now, J Dub. You don't mind if I tell the world why I call you J Dub?
Nah, you good, bro.
All right, I call Jason J Dub because his last name started with a W, and he like 732 feet tall. He like way taller than me. So I got Dub and J Dub. So I say that to say that it's fun for me. I actually get a kick out of that. I know y'all think I'm silly, but I get a kick out of that, and I really, really appreciate the fact that you two guys don't get upset at me because I'm not making fun of you at all. It's just in my mind's eye, that's how I know who you guys are. And that's how I share my love for you guys, is because if I just call you by your name, I don't like you anyway. In my inner circle, you got a nickname, you in. You part of the group, you part of the crew. I want to thank y'all for being on with us tonight, but I do want everybody to understand self-care is very important, because one of the things I want to leave everybody with tonight is that if you think about it this way, when you take good care of yourself, right, you feel better, and then you can function better. And when you feel better and you function better, check this out. It makes it easier for you to prioritize your habits, your rest, your emotional health. Man, emotional health is so important today. People just don't do it. Terry, you work in this field. You know what I'm talking about. Your emotional support. You enable yourself to do more, but you also, this is the beauty in it. You also enable yourself to receive more from other people, so you don't feel so abandoned out here in this world, right? And when you can do all of that, you set out goals, you accomplish those goals, and then as you're accomplishing your goals in life, you get to do what I'm just now learning to do at the ripe old age of 39. Is you get to smell the
How long
roses
you been
along
39?
the way. 10 years, mind your business.
I love it. Good one, Jason. Good one.
10 years, but mind your business.
Good one, Jason.
See, that's that love and respect right there. See, that's what it is. That's that love and respect. So I feel supported when I get I get rebuttals like that. But I definitely want people to understand that this, with everything that's going on, it doesn't have to be a death sentence. This is I think all of this is so that God can give us life, and so that we may have life more abundantly. You know what I mean? We need moments like this, lighthearted moments, and that brotherly love. Either one of you guys want to say anything before we get ready to sign off here? Want to leave us with any closing remarks? Any more jokes, Jason?
No, I'm good.
What about you, Barry? No. Well, with that being said, y'all know how we do it on our show here. We love God, and we are really on a mission. And I believe we are on a mission from God. We find what you love. Y'all know how we do it. You embrace it and you chase it, and that is your relentless pursuit. God bless you. God keep you. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you back here next Friday at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Until then, God bless you, and we love you. Have a good night. Sister Kim, we love you. Thank you. Cue the music, please.
True, too. What's up, DB? I think we're going to make them swag it after this one. Yeah. They going to dance to this. Oh, I can see it. Yeah. Give me some love. Give me respect. Give me my God. Give me some space. Give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Give me some love. Give me respect. Give me my God. Give me some space. Give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. You say you're real with it, so real with it. Yeah, you make your big gun chillin' it. Cause the dickers, you don't know who you're dealing with. Show me some respect, cause I ain't cleaning with the silliness. Surrounded by the fake, you don't really get. Never compromise for some dividends. I did it before, but I never will again. Asking God for the forgiveness for my sins. I'm a child of the king, yes, I'm a child of the king. The devil can shatter my dreams, good ground is where I'm a seed, yeah. I got plenty muscle, grinding in easy hustle. Been in the struggle, been in the dungeon, but only a chief for the lunches. Homie, the road with the punches. All people perish for the lack of knowledge. Why you think we are trying to violence? College, it ain't for everybody. Some intelligence, stack your wallet. I've been real, told you, I'm cold like a windshield. Roll with a big wheel, spinning like windmills, and we will. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, and give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy.
Everything they do is enough. Bitch, you close and I can see the pose. I told you. They act so holy, act like they don't know me. Mess up my energy, offensive, religiously, unevenly yoked. They don't mix with my chemistry. No profit out of pocket, speaking in riddles all off topic. Planet starships and rockets, spinning the word bicycle sprocket. What is opposite, heaven or hell? So what I dwell will I prevail. It's the journey getting close, I am a saved by the bell. Purposely ordained to carry the day. Baptized in the joy and pain, not a slave, turning the pain. Toss a car, breaking the tape. Chopping it out like I used to, it ain't easy being true to all let go. Fill the room, now we packing all the things. Till I can see, I think it's all needed. Fact the opinion, give me a minute. Everything good come from God. Throw an order off to me, you bop my head like the baby. Ain't no ifs, ands, or maybe. Keep on walking in the light, while the rest be so safe. They can love me, hate me, the blood is thicker than gravy. Two on the word, meditate daily. Shocking amazing grace, covers the room, ready, set. Boom, he ain't dead, you heard what I said, the living bread, go check the tune. The black crew's returning soon, James.
Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, and give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy.